Okay, so I wanted to start by walking you through. This is one of your handouts, so you can sort of follow along on there. This is a really detailed schedule of our whole Caravan week. Not all of the information is immediately pertinent to you, but I thought it could be the case you were curious, or if you just wanted to think, on Tuesday, what is my kid even doing? So this is the information for you. So just to explain to you, this is the time where humans are normally awake. 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. The days of the week starting on Friday, and so this is Saturday, the day that we leave. I'll just quickly walk you through it. Feel free to ask any questions. Then this will feed naturally into the tasks, the jobs that our students are actually doing. So the Friday before we leave from 3 to 5, this is our designated pack time. You and or your student will need to come here and bring all of the stuff that they'll be bringing so we can pack it beforehand. They'll also need to make their lunch for the next 2 days. So that's what goes on then. Then we arrive here and we want to depart by 6:30 a.m. Because as you'll see, we have this number here, 12 hours of driving time that day, and then 13 hours the next day. So we gotta get on the. You got a question, Debbie Klein?
Are they making their lunch here, or they need to bring?
They are making their lunch here.
Okay.
So they'll be in the habit, starting then, of each day making their lunch for the next day, basically till we get home.
Thank you. I didn't know if we were bringing it already.
Great question. Great question. We will have all the peanut butter and jelly that you could possibly want. And then we actually have a few nut allergies, so there's other things. We got it all covered. So packing and food, and then we depart early, and you can sort of see our driving schedule. Big Caravan tradition on the first day, the whole group puts together what we call the Caravan Constitution. Everything we agree to do together. It's usually things like have an open heart, don't make out with anybody. But this is an awesome, important time. And it's really good after a whole day of driving, because I remember as a kid hating car trips with my parents, but loving them with anyone else. And so kids are just really enjoy the car trips. And so that's what we do on the first night. Then this day here is our worst day of driving for a couple of reasons. So lots of prayers for that. Not only do we have 12 and a half hours of highway time, we also lose 2 hours on this day. When we come out on the other side of Arizona, you skip 2 time zones. It's brutal. So, yeah, prayers that day. Then we have a really similar schedule the 4 days that we're there, except the first day we're going to sleep in a little bit because we get in late. Then each day they'll get up and make their lunch if they haven't already, have breakfast. Normally we'll have a devotional time that's student-led. Our leadership team, the Teenage Ministry Ninja team, is what they call themselves. Each year they select what students they would like to lead a devotion. And so it's a neat student selection process, and it's a real honor. So there'll be 4 student-led devotionals. Those times, they're normally in the morning, but as I said, we're sleeping in. And so then each day we'll meet with the staff of the group that we're working with from 8 to 8:30. Then we'll depart and work as much as we can, as long as we can. Then at night what we do, it's really great. There's a shower time, kind of some free time, and everybody gets re-energized with that. And then we have dinner, and then we all meet together, really generally in a big circle. And there's some worship time, and me or Steve Harrington will talk. So that happens each day, except on Wednesday we're going to attend the youth group of the church that we're partnering with there. And they actually have a giant thing where they invite everybody from the state to come to their church this week. It's like VBS but for high schoolers. And it's huge, and so we're going to go to the Wednesday night portion of that. So that'll be really exciting, and it's just really neat to get to know the church that we're working with a little better and bless their ministry with our prayer presence and enjoy them, kind of build a relationship. So then on Thursday, that's our last work day. Another really wonderful Caravan tradition is what we call somewhat self-explanatory affirmations. Again, we're in a huge circle. It's normally one of the last nights of the trip, and each person gets a turn to be in the middle of the circle. And then they get about 1 minute for everyone to say as coherently as possible, one at a time, really affirming things. And again, this is one of the most powerful parts of Caravan. Awesome Caravan tradition, if you weren't already aware. Then we'll pack up that night and we'll depart early the next day. We'll drive all day. And then Saturday is our fun day. We will drive for 3 hours, and then we will be spending most of the lunch and afternoon in Lake Havasu at a really neat park installation that they have there. There's like a beach, and there's some volleyball, and there's some hikes. And we found that the more laid back the fun day can be, the better it generally is for everyone. The kids just need some time to unwind and run around and do nothing and be silly, and that, I think, has generally gone over better than like going to an amusement park or something like that. So that's the plan there. We'll be staying in a church in Lake Havasu that night. We'll have a worship night and some prayer time for the students to pray together. That's always a really meaningful way to close our trip. And we'll get up early the next day, and we'll be back here by intersections, and it got cut off a little bit on my thing here. So, you know, one thing that's neat about sending a kid on Caravan is that you can totally forget about them for a week, and maybe that's nice for you. But if you're not wanting to totally forget about them, it is also helpful to know what they're doing at each time as you think about them, what might they be doing right now. So that's the info there. Any questions about this stuff? Yes?
Is Lake Havasu a surprise, or can we?
Yeah, don't tell them. Great question. So, not that it matters too much, but there's a long tradition of keeping it a secret that we just didn't do last year. So I think we're going to try and move back to keeping it a secret quite close to. Yeah.
What state is Lake Havasu in? Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
Not London.
Right. Right. Yeah, fun.
Is Pastor Steve coming the whole time, or is he
Yeah.
just flying in for days?
Pastor Steve will be there the whole time, so that's fun. He'll be doing the duty of your standard advisor. So, such a blessing to have a guy who's willing to do that, and also he's really good at this stuff. So, yeah, it's a blessing to have him come along. Plus, he's one of the few guys that can drive a big van. So. Any other questions about the schedule? Yeah.
So where are you staying the first couple of nights and then coming back, where are you staying?
Great question, great question. Let's see. This night, we get there, and we're here all the way to here. Here we're staying at a church in Flagstaff. I can get you the name, but I kind of get confused. Here we're staying at a church in Lake Havasu. Here, much to my dismay, even though I've called 50 churches, we don't have a place yet, but I have a couple of contingency plans, but nothing solid here. So I'm still waiting for a few churches similar to our size that have a big gym, space like that, to get back to me. Hopefully I'll have that done tomorrow, is my goal.
So we're driving to Flagstaff.
Yeah, we're making it to Flagstaff. So Flagstaff, Oklahoma City, Flagstaff, Lake Havasu, Sunnyvale, if that made any sense. So if any of you own a gym in Flagstaff, now is the time.
What about a school gym even?
Yeah, I have a long list of people I can call if none of the churches work out. So high schools, colleges, Christian schools, there's a bunch of options for us. We like to stay in the church because they get it. They get what we're doing, and